For more on the lifting of the embargo and how this might impact US Vietnam relations, I'm joined by Phuong Nguyen with the Center for Strategic and International Studies. She's a research fellow with the Southeast Asia program there. Thank you so much for joining us. Talk about the significance of the lifting of this embargo and the timing of all of this. Why now, and why would Vietnam want to buy weapons from the US?
You're right, the lifting of the arms embargo is historic. Why now? Vietnam has been pushing for the United States to fully lift the ban for the past 2 years. In October 2014, the Obama administration partially lifted the ban. And according to Vietnamese leaders, the remaining ban means that military-to-military relations cannot be fully normalized. And Hanoi has its own Vietnam syndrome because many of the military leaders participated in the Vietnam War, what they call the American War. So lifting the ban signifies that the United States is ready to remove a ban that was based on ideological differences, and the United States want to move forward with Hanoi, and they expect the Vietnamese military to further open up.
U.S. President Barack Obama has said that this move is not meant to raise tensions in the South China Sea, but some could see it as provocative. China is coming out and saying that it supports the move, that it hopes that this will be used for peaceful purposes. What is your take on that?
I think it's a very courageous move on the part of the Obama administration because there were constituencies in Washington who opposed the full lifting of the ban on human rights grounds. It's also courageous of Hanoi to want the ban to be fully lifted because from now on, US-Vietnam defense relations will be scrutinized much more by Beijing. But at the same time, I think you can also expect Hanoi to be very careful about what and when it wants to purchase US weapons. And no Vietnamese leaders want to take actions that would cause Beijing to think that it needs to react. So I think you'll see a very careful balance of power going on.
You think that same consideration will be used when it comes to the South China Sea?
I think Vietnam will be a bit more open with the United States when it comes to maritime security cooperation in the South China Sea, but a lot of it will be driven by China's own actions. So for example, I think you can expect more US naval vessels to visit Vietnamese ports. You can expect US-Vietnam naval exchanges to become more complicated every year to acquire more depth. But it also depends a lot on, how China proceeds because Hanoi doesn't want to upset Beijing. So they will proceed as they see fit.
Some big economic deals taking place as well. We heard from Sean about the deal with Boeing, $11 billion worth of airplane deals, the Peace Corps as well. What do you make about these moves?
It tells you a lot. People who believe that economics should be the foundation of US staying power in Asia look at Vietnam and think that Vietnam can be a central element of US economic leadership in the region in Southeast Asia in the coming years. Vietnam is already the largest US trading partner in Southeast Asia, and I think you can expect more deals to come down the road if and when the Trans-Pacific Partnership goes into action. So yes, this is a very broad and also deep relationship that the US is trying to build with Vietnam.
All right, Phuong Nguyen, thank you so much for your perspective. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
If you like what you just saw, follow us on social media and visit our website, cctv-america.com.